San Francisco. It's television's off-the-wall, unpredictable panel playing Take My Word For It.
Even our words have a meaning. In fact, we'll give them four. Only one is right, and if you've never heard of it, can you tell the real from the absurd of it? You could look it up,
Or
take my word for it.
And now, here is the big bozo of this brilliant battalion of brain benders, Jim Lang.
The big bozo. Thank you, Scott. Welcome once again to Take My Word For It. Thank you, Scott Beach. I'd like you to meet our panel, and they are just looking
Cute.
wonderful today. Yeah, cute. In seat number one, the very talented and beautiful actress. She's gorgeous, she's gregarious, and she can really create a story. June Lockhart.
Thank you very much.
June?
How do you do?
Next to June, an excellent actor, but also a very fine liar, and isn't he a hunk? Look at that. There he is, Gordon Jump. Seat number three, again a fine actress and a super storyteller, and you know her best, I think, as the neighbor on the Jeffersons. We know her best as Roxy Roker.
Hey, Roxy.
And on the end, a man of words, a man who has done everything in this world, everything, including get married. Here is Richard Clyde. Richard. Well, there they are. That's our panel, and they are stupendous, as you will find out as the program proceeds. I'd like you to meet our contestants today, and two wonderful people. On my right, originally from the state of Washington, working as a program assistant in television, say hello to Valerie Stewart. Hello, Val. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you.
Good to see you. You on a local station in San Francisco?
Yes.
How come they don't carry our show? That's what I want to know.
I'll speak to them about
Talk
that.
to them. That's
All
right. Get yourself on there. You're from Washington. How long have you been in the Bay Area, in San Francisco?
Since 72.
Oh, so you're almost a native now, huh?
I feel like one.
Well, good luck to you on the show today. Watch their eyes. That's a clue.
Okay.
And on my left, your opponent, and this guy works in a very popular San Francisco restaurant as a waiter. Say hello to Chris Scott. Hello, Chris. How you doing?
It's fine.
How's business?
Business is great.
From a waiter's point of view, do you judge the people that come in on how nice they are or on the tip they leave?
How much they leave.
That's right. Well, we hope you leave here with a lot, Chris. Good
We
luck
always
to you.
do that with our contestants, too.
We give you something to take home, everybody. You can't miss. Here's how we play. I'll give the panel a word, and I assure you, and I assure both of our players, that it is a real word. They will all define it, each of them in their turn, each with a different definition. Only one of them is correct. The idea is to find the right definer, as you know. If you do find the right definer in this first round, we will give you a point and a prize. And the one who has the most points at the end of the game will go on to play the Turnabout round with a chance to win a cruise on the Royal Odyssey for two, a Caribbean cruise through the Panama Canal. Fabulous. So that's at the end of the road. Right now, we begin with word number one. Are you ready, panel?
Ready, Jim?
All right,
Yes.
Scott, are you ready?
I am, sir.
Okay, the word is a cutie. I love it. It's Pilliloo. Pilliloo. P-I-L-I-L-oo-oo. All right. Gordon, what does Pilliloo mean?
Well, probably one of the best Pilliloo, actually the most powerful Pilliloo person I ever knew was Percy Puddlepock, the pallid pill peddler that peddled Puckett's pink pills for pale people. He was probably the most profound Pilliloo of the lot. We like to have him. He'd come over and sit on the sofa with Safina, my sitting setter, and my sister Sophie. Sophie said she liked Percy Puddlepock, the pallid pill peddler, very much because he petted well. Was that Sophina? Anyway,
There goes the credit crawl.
It's sort of a pharmaceutical synonym for super salesman. Yeah, it dates back to the patent medicine, the pill-pushing days.
Okay. Wasn't that terrific?
Wonderful.
Great, Gordon. And now, Roxy, what do you say?
You know, when I first heard this word, I thought, of course, Pilliloo, something nice and soft, and you know, we all know about the loo. And I thought it was a padded
You're
John.
not going to do it.
I know better than that. It's not a padded John. What Pilliloo is something like, you know, you've heard the word Geronimo, you know, look out below.
Sure.
Or timber, something is happening, you know, to you. Well, a Pilliloo is actually a cry that one gives when one is in distress or in danger when you are hunting. It is a hunting term. Pilly-loo.
You scream that out, huh?
That's right.
And they come
That's what you
running.
do. That's what
Okay.
the action is called.
Richard, what do you say? Pilly-loo.
You don't believe me? Take my word for it.
Try more energy, Roxy, more energy.
Yeah.
Mr. But knows that. The strawberry
It sounds
preserves.
like a polite word. Am I on now?
Yes, you're on, Richard.
It sounds like a polite word, as you said, pililu, but it's not. It's a Gaelic word. It's an old Gaelic word, taught to me by an old Gael. And what it is, it's a form of punishment, whereby the victim's hands and feet are tied, and he is hoisted on a rope and jerked up and down with this rope. Now, this, as I said, this is not funny. However, it gave birth to two things that we know today. One, of course, is the yo-yo. And the other is a cure for choking. Heimlich is what it is. Pilly-loo is the apparatus to punish a victim for whatever crime he was
Yeah, I
guilty
love
of.
it. All right, Richard. June, what do you say Pilly-loo is?
Do you work in an Italian restaurant?
No, I do not.
Okay.
But I did.
Prego Pilly-loo, Antonio. It is in Parma, Italy, from grandfather to father to son, the technique for ham massage is passed on. And the Pilly-loo is the act of massaging the ham during the curing of the ham, which takes 10, 15 months, and it's rubbed about, I don't know, 30 or 40 times during that time. And they just go in, they take the ham out of the thing, and they rub it and everything, and that's the Pilly-loo process of ham curing.
Oh, that's wonderful. All right.
Antonio.
That's great, June. Wow. There we have 4 unbelievable definitions. But one of them, I tell you, Chris and Val, is correct. Gordon says it's a pharmaceutical term for a super salesman, the guy who sells those pills, boy.
Pilly-loo.
That's a Pilly-loo, and I remember Sophia, too, was in that story.
Right.
Roxy says it's a call of distress, a hunter's call of distress. Richard says it's an old Gaelic term for a form of punishment. Actually, the apparatus.
It's the apparatus, the Pilly-loo.
For jerking this guy up and down. Or woman. June says it's a term for massaging the ham while they're curing it. Okay,
Parma,
that is
Italy.
the Pilly-loo process. We flipped a coin before we started, and Chris, you are the lucky guy. You go first. Which of those 4 do you think is the correct one?
Well, the last time I was in distress hunting, I yelled Pilly-loo. So I'll
did.
pick Roxy.
Oh, you're going with the distress call. All right, Scott says Roxy is right. He's used the word. So he says. What do you say, Valerie?
Well, I had a completely different reaction. I don't think that would be a very realistic thing to call if you were in distress.
Got me thrown out of Utah.
So I go for Richard.
Okay, you go for Richard. You do?
Your definition, Richard.
Oh,
All right.
just another fan.
Yeah. You had his hopes up there for a moment, Valerie. Okay. Roxy, you were chosen by Scott, and Richard, you were chosen by Valerie. Let's see what the real definition of Pilly-loo is. Here's a man who knows, Professor Scott Beach.
According, Jim, to Webster's second unabridged dictionary, Pilly-loo is a cry used in hunting as a shout of distress.
Oh, hey, you got it. Pilly-loo! Roxy had it. Pilly-loo! We'll be right back. It's oh, by the way, before we leave, you got a point, Scott, and you didn't, but there's plenty of time to pick up more points, and you also won a prize. Scott, would you tell, Scott, would you tell Chris what he's won?
I haven't the foggiest idea. No. Dane Craft's jewelry creations designed with classic beauty reflecting the harmony of elegance and style. A handsome and unique original Primavera collection furnished by Dane Craft.
All right, that's yours, Chris. You got that to keep. We'll be right back with another word right after this. Don't go away. Welcome back to Take My Word for It. Our waiter, Scott, or Chris, rather, leads, and Valerie, you have a chance to pick up a point here now because we're on to another word. And panel, I would like you to define the word palimpsest. P-A-L-I-M-P-S-E-S-T. Palimpsest. And we'll start with Roxy this time. Roxy, what does that mean?
Palimpsest. The word pal is in this word, of course, is the beginning of it.
Yep.
And the definition of pal is brother as well as friend. Most of us use the term when we refer to our friend. So this word means that any kind of tight-knit relationship between brothers. Now, this does not mean an incestuous, no. kind of relationship. It means, it really is used for all kinds of male camaraderie, but the guys have to be really, one for all and all for one, like the Three Musketeers, or fraternity, that kind of relationship. These are men who will die for each other, like in knighthood.
That's palimpsest.
Yes.
He ain't
Palimpsest.
heavy, he's my palimpsest.
Richard, what is palimpsest?
The Hollies, June 1968.
Oh, yeah.
He ain't heavy, he's my palimpsest. That's June Lockhart. Very good. You know how sometimes they find a very important work of art under a not so important work, like they'll find a Rembrandt under a Van Dyke? Dick Van Dyke. Here in Chicago found a Rembrandt under a sketch under Dick Van Dyke's portrait of himself. This could also be a parchment, which was written on previously, like the Dead Sea Scrolls, okay? Well, the Dead Sea Scrolls are actually found underneath the Dead Sea Scrolls were the live Sea Scrolls. This is true. If they erase what's on top of the parchment writing, they can find some important works, either whether they be works of art or writing. So a palimpsest, I'm totally lost. What am I saying? A palimpsest is a piece of parchment on which his writing has twice been.
Oh, I gotcha. Okay. Judy, what do you say it is?
Palimpsest. It's the uncomfortable impression made on either the hard or the soft palate of the roof of the mouth by something that one eats which hurts or scratches or is some sort of an abrasive thing, which, sometimes you'll scratch the roof of your mouth and it hurts.
It's a hard
That's
taste.
the palimpsest. That is touching it's an impression that's made and it hurts. And it's also sometimes called bad mouthing.
Gordon, what do you say palimpsest is?
One of the best palimpsests I have ever met in my life was a little guy in Dayton, Ohio, and his chauffeur used to drive him to work. And when he'd get out of the Cadillac, he'd get onto this board and push himself over to the side against the bank building, and then take out a little cup and sell pencils all day long. And made a fortune that way, this guy. And then about 5 o'clock in the evening, the chauffeur would come back, pick him up, and take him home. A palimpsest is a panhandler, somebody that is always wanting a handout.
Okay. Someone who wants your money. Okay, there we have it, Valerie and Chris. Roxy says it's a tight-knit relationship between men. The palimpsest, very close group. Richard says it's a parchment which has been written twice on a parchment.
2 times
thing.
writing on it.
Right, 2 times, right. June says it's the uncomfortable impression on the roof of your mouth, on the palate. There's a palimpsest. And Gordon says it's a panhandler, someone who wants your money. Okay, Valerie, you're first this time. Time to pick up a point. What do you think?
Okay. Richard was real convincing again, but you didn't you didn't do it for me last time. I'm going with Gordon.
Okay. Valerie changes her tactics, all right?
Yes.
Chris, what do you say?
Well, Richard was very convincing this time, and so I will believe it is a twice-written parchment.
All right, Chris goes with Richard. So Richard has been selected by Chris. Valerie selects Roxy's. Now, the moment of truth. Professor Scott Beach, what is the true meaning of palimpsest?
Jim, according to Funk and Wagnall's dictionary, palimpsest is a parchment written upon twice, the original writing having been erased.
All right, it's 2-0. You'll have a chance to catch him, though. Before we go on to the next word, Scott, would you please tell Chris what he has just won again?
He won the Fuji Cambridge 3-speed bicycle, practical personal transportation for people for whom good enough just isn't good enough, from Fuji.
All right, on to round number 3 now. This round is worth 2 points. So if you get this and he doesn't, you can create a tie. So you still have a chance, Valerie. And it's also a slang round. This is a slang term, and the term is blindfold a pair. Blindfold a pair. That's P-A-I-R. Richard, what does that mean, please?
Very simply, it's a poker term. If you know high-low poker, lowest possible low being a 64, 6-4, 3-2-1, and the high, of course, being a straight flush. In high-low poker, to blindfold a pair is, if you're showing in 5-card stud, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3, 4 on top, underneath, you have paired any one of those, you actually have a high hand, like you have a pair of aces, but you look like you're going low. It's a slang term for disguising a high hand, blindfolding a pair.
All right, June, what do you say it is?
Oh, it has to do with short order cooks. And, of course, well, it's, you know, when somebody orders eggs and they call out, hey, blindfold a pair, that means that they want the eggs with the sunny side up and 2 strips of bacon.
Oh.
Right over the yolk. Blindfold a pair.
Okay, that's
I like that.
a short order cook term, all right?
Yes.
Gordon, what do you say?
Actually, it's a term from the burlesque theater days, meaning the cops. Meaning the cops are in the house, so you keep the top covered.
Oh, wonderful. All right, Roxy, blindfold a pair.
Blindfold a pair. You know, June is almost, she was almost correct. I think one of those good jobs that I had when I was about 15 years old back in New York City, I worked for one of these little places, you know,
Diners.
hot dog places,
Yeah.
you know. And we had to learn those short terms for foods. For example, BLT, down, was a bacon, lettuce, and tomato. On toast, down means because you had to push it down in the toaster to toast it. And there was
Oh.
another, didn't you know that?
No.
No, okay, well, it was. And also, you know, to get the various, you know, other things that you had, like sunny side up, as June said, to have your eggs up with the eyes showing. Well, to blindfold a pair means to turn those eggs over, like in once over lightly. It's because you want the eggs not to run or show. So you blindfold the pair so the yolk is not showing. It is
Okay,
fried.
there we have our 4 definitions, 2 of them pretty close there. Richard says it's a poker term when you are hiding a high hand by pretending that you're going for low. June says it's a short order term for 2 eggs with the bacon on the side.
No, yeah, over the eyes.
Over the, 2
Yes.
bacon over the eyes, right over it, yeah.
Sure.
Okay, gotcha. All right. Gordon says it's a burlesque term to cover up the ladies when the police are on the way. And Roxy says it's also a cooking term, but it means to turn the eggs over.
Fried on both sides.
Fried on both sides. Okay, we go to our leader. You're first, Chris. What do you think?
Well, I'd love to be in a burlesque show and have someone yell, blindfold a pair. So I'll pick Gordon.
All right. Chris says that Gordon is right. What do you say, Valerie? This is your chance now to catch up.
I think June and Roxy are real convincing, but I'm going to go with June.
June, the blindfold a pair with the eggs and the bacon. Okay, Valerie selects June's definition. Chris, you took Gordon's. Let's find out, Scott, what is the correct meaning of blindfold a pair?
According, Jim, to the Dictionary of American Slang, blindfold a pair is an order to fry 2 eggs on both sides.
Yes, indeed.
Roxy's was the right one. Oh, so close. So close.
Very good.
Very good.
Well, they both sounded logical to me. You didn't get any points there, Valerie, and you didn't get any points, but you won the game. So that means you get a chance to play the turnabout round in a moment, and we do have a prize for you. We can't let you go away without anything. Scott, would you please tell Valerie what we're going to give her?
The elegant carriage attaché case in a hand-rubbed rosewood with protective lacquer finish, solid brass latches, resettable combination locks, leather and velvet interior from Carriage Attaché.
All right, that's for you. Thank you again. Thanks a lot. You were just great. It was tough. And we'll be right back with a turnabout round to see if Chris can go on a cruise right after this. Don't go away. You ready? back. Take my word for time for the turnabout round. We have given a word to Chris. He will define the word. He may or may not use the correct definition. The idea is to fool the panel. Chris, the more you fool, the better. Fool one, we've got a great prize. Two, you get 2 great prizes. Three beautiful prizes. But if you fool all 4, you'll be going on a cruise for 2 on the Royal Odyssey from the Caribbean through the Panama Canal, the Mexican Riviera. Marvelous. That's for 2, and that's if you fool all 4. They will listen carefully and then tell us whether they believe you or not. The word panel that Chris is going to define is cuarto. C-U-A-R-T-O. Cuarto. What does that mean, Chris?
Cuarto. Makes me think of ole and dancing. And it makes me think of a very particular kind of dance. And since it does sound Spanish to me, let's put it in Spain in the bullfighting ring. And the bullfighter, the matador, is out there and he's fighting his bull, and they throw spears at him and all, trying to down the bull, and finally he has to make one last movement to kill the bull, so he does a cuarto and he kills the bull.
All right. That's it. That's that final movement?
It's the final body movement that kills the bull.
Okay, that's it, panel. You've heard the definition. Now tell everybody whether you believe Chris or not. Please put up a sign, yes or no. When you've made up your mind, when they're all up, they can't change them anymore, and they're locked in. And Gordon's upside down, but that's all right. We'll see what we can... Okay. Now we're ready. June, do you or do you not believe his definition?
Oh, no.
No, didn't like it. Gordon, how about you?
I don't know if it actually happens in the bull ring or after the dead bull's taken out, but they cuarto that sucker some way.
All right. 1 yes and 1 no. Roxy, what do you say?
Oh, I've been in Spain, and I've seen those bullfighters, and they didn't do a cuarto when I saw them do it.
All
So I
right,
say
another
no.
Richard, what do you say?
No, I thought the last thing they do before they kill a bull is to say, take that, you. In Spanish. Manolete. No, I don't believe it.
All right, 3 no's and 1 yes. You've either fooled 3 of them or just 1. Let's find out. Scott, the correct definition, please, of cuarto.
According to the Morrow Book of New Words, cuarto is the matador's body movement preceding a kill.
You fooled 3 of them. Very good. The movement is what you said, and that's correct. You've won 3 prizes. Didn't quite get the cruise. Wow. Only Gordon kept you from the cruise, but you did win 3. Scott, tell Chris what he has just won.
The Scotsman compact refrigerator featuring a freezer compartment and reversible door can be built into counters and cabinets in your kitchen, bar, or office from Scotsman. Skyway's newest luggage for easier handling on stairs, curbs, and tight places, luggage on wheels. Outdoor twist fabric and colors including new Times Square furnished by Skyway. And an Emperor grandfather clock, a solid 3/4-inch oak masterpiece with West German movement from Emperor Clock Company, world's largest manufacturer of grandfather clocks.
That's all yours. You got 5 prizes. You'll be taking home a lot. We'll be right back with more Take My Word for It right after this. Jim Lang saying, bye.
Royal Cruise Line's lovely Royal Odyssey and Golden Odyssey offer deluxe air-sea cruises to the Mediterranean, Scandinavia, Panama Canal, and the Caribbean. A landmark in San Francisco, Hyatt Regency and Embarcadero Center is conveniently located near Fisherman's Wharf and Chinatown.